Shhhhh. Welcome everyone to another. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of A World of Chaos. This is gonna be my review for A Quiet Place Part 2. Because I will be giving away spoilers, even though the movie isn't really too spoiler heavy. If you haven't seen the film, I do recommend you see it and then come back and watch this review. Or if you're not a person that cares about spoilers, watch this review, listen to this review in podcast form, and then go see the film. As long as you're listening to this or watching this, that's all I care about. John Krasinski's giving me nothing for this. Damn it, Jim. So I literally have just been back from the movie theater seeing this, probably within like the last 45 minutes. It was good to be back in the movie theater with the entirety of 2020 and everything that 2021 has given me. It was nice to get back to some type of normalcy. I've missed being in a movie theater and just shutting my brain off and enjoying a incredibly well-made film. I actually got to see this film with my lovely mother. This was her first time in a movie theater, I'd say probably since Godzilla King of the Monsters. That was her last film that she saw in the movie theater. So A Quiet Place is one of her all-time favorite films. She absolutely loves it. It's actually gotten her to watch more films from Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. So this was for sure the first film I was going to see with her in a movie theater. If you haven't seen the first Quiet Place film, you're going to need to really understand this film. And honestly, that was one of my top 10 films of 2018. It is an incredibly well-made film from first-time writer and director John Krasinski. Yes, that John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, and his wife, Emily Blunt. If you haven't seen the first one, you should go watch that. So the entire Abbott family is back on the run. That is Evelyn, Emily Blunt. That is Marcus, played by Noah Jupe. And that is Regan, played by Millicent Simmons, who is actually deaf. And her character in the film is deaf also, which the awareness that raised for the hearing impaired community and just really show that sometimes a disability can be an advantage. I think that was one of the best things about that film. It didn't play in any stereotypes or tropes, and it really made this film really stand out. And that is actually continued here in the second film. So it literally takes a place right after the end of the first film, and we do get a flashback to the actual outbreak, or when the aliens first land or ravage the community. That's when you actually do get to see the flashback with John Krasinski, and then you also see a few other characters introduced, one of them being by Cillian Murphy's character Emmett. I'm a huge fan of his, and amazingly I've never seen Peaky Blinders. I've just seen everything else he's done. I also love his name. Cillian is just such a badass name, and I know I'm pronouncing it right. I watched the video. It's Cillian, not Cillian. Film actually does have a little more character development and builds a little bit of the world, because you get to see the Abbott family before everything happened, and you'd never seen that, especially in the first film. It just takes place after, and this one does let you see a little more, and I'm glad I did get to see a little John Krasinski, because I'm a huge fan of his now. And after watching The Office, I am a bigger fan of his. You will see the review, my full review of The Office, coming soon to this channel. So make sure you are subscribed. Hit that like button so I can know that you guys like this type of content. Hit that bell icon, stay notified of when I drop videos, so that way the YouTube algorithm will actually recommend me. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the first Quiet Place film and what you think of this film. Is it a better movie than the first one? Were you disappointed by anything? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, make sure you're subscribed to this podcast in podcast form. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If it's on Apple, Anchor, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Radio Public, anywhere you're listening to this. Make sure you are subscribed, and please leave me a review. I really appreciate it, and it really does help. After around about 25 minutes of the film, after Cillian Murphy's character is reintroduced, you really get a switch, and it really almost becomes two different films. You have Emily Blunt trying to take care of her two sons, and then you have almost a Last of Us type film between Cillian Murphy and Millicent Simmons' character. You have them almost on a road trip. Her character is determined to use the advantage they now know they have with her hearing aid. Putting that near any speaker will completely disorient the aliens and let them get a fighting advantage over them. Well, she's determined now to try to find the loudest speaker she can. And she hears on the radio that there's a song being broadcast from a local station. And she determines that if she can get to that station, she can broadcast this and give everybody a chance. She goes off on her own to do this. Actually find out that it's actually being broadcast from an island. During this time with Emily Blunt, her son, actually in the beginning of the movie, has his ankle caught in a bear trap. So she leaves out to get some first aid, and because they do still have a couple-day-old newborn baby, and the baby does tend to cry, they have a little makeshift iron lung for the baby, and they keep the baby with oxygen to keep it quiet, which you saw in the first film. Well, she goes out to venture to get that. The son starts getting nervous because he just saw his father die. His sister's best friend has now left him. Now his mom's left him. He's all alone with the baby. And so that becomes its own mini short film in itself. The parts with Cillian and Millicent are absolutely amazing. It did feel almost like a Last of Us type film. And the biggest thing I will give this movie a compliment for, even withstanding the writing, the direction, the cinematography, is the sound design. Maybe it's just loving being back in the movie theater, but there were certain parts of this film, somebody walking would just send chills down your spine because any sound can alert the monsters. It was just a great ride being back into that world, and this is something you have to see in the movie theater. Things are opening back up. I hope everybody is safe. Hope everybody is vaccinated. And as things are trying to get back to normal, this is one of those films you are going to want to experience in a movie theater. I'm actually probably going to try to see this again in a Dolby theater with the enhanced sound to just really feel everything. But skipping ahead in the movie, you find out that there is an island that has a small community on it. We're introduced to Jaime Hansu's character, who says that once they figured out that the monsters couldn't swim, they got everybody on the island. Well, hijinks ensue. One of the monsters gets on the island, and John Krasinski does a great job with suspense, because the climax of this film has both story beats. The part in the Foundry factory with Emily Blunt and the boys, and Cillian Murphy and Millicent in a radio station. The tension is palpable. It is done by somebody you would not guess that this is their second film that they've ever directed and written. I was on pins and needles. I was sitting back in my chair nervous. It was a great feeling. The ending of this film, extremely similar to the first one, just leads it up for another film. I cannot see there not being a Quiet Place Part 3. I'm in for as many as they're willing to give me, and the way that these stories are paced out, it is absolutely amazing to see somebody that is this new to directing and writing was able to do something this well even again. So I can't recommend this film enough. I give this movie 5 out of 5. I'd say an A-. This film, it did everything the first one did. It racked up the tension. I did miss John Krasinski's character. Emily did some amazing acting, and remember, most of this film is dialogue free. So this is a lot of emotion, a lot of facial expressions, a lot of gestures. It's just a lot of body language. Honestly, I really hope this one does get nominated for an Oscar because I thought the first one should have also. But let me know what you think. As always, thank you for joining me here on World of Chaos. You can find me on all social media at Team Kayos. That's Facebook. Make sure you find my Facebook page, Team Kayos. Like the page and be part of the community. Make sure you hit me up on Instagram at Team Kayos. Hit me up on Twitter, and make sure that you follow my other podcast, What Kind of Black Nerdcast Is This, with me, with a couple of my cohorts. I'm talking about movies, top 10 list, and just basically giving you a little slice of nerd life in this crazy time that we're in now. Make sure you follow that page also, and What Kind of Black Nerdcast Is This on Facebook page, and the group. And make sure you hit my co-host up. Thank you for joining me. Nerd responsibly.